In a small village called Igbaloko, there lived an old man named Baba Kòsòkò. He was known as the village herbalist, a man who could cure many sicknesses with his herbs and magic. People came from far and wide to see him when they were sick or had problems. Baba Kòsòkò lived in a big compound at the edge of the village. His house was old and made of mud, with a thatched roof that needed fixing. Around his house were smaller huts where he kept his herbs and did his work. The compound was surrounded by tall trees and thick bushes. Many people said the place looked scary, especially at night. For many years, Baba Kòsòkò lived alone in his compound. He didn't have a wife or children. Some people said his family had left him long ago because of his strange ways. Others said he had never married because he was too busy with his work. Whatever the reason, Baba Kòsòkò was always by himself. One day, a young man named Adébáyò came to the village. He was looking for work and a place to stay. Adébáyò had heard about Baba Kòsòkò and thought he might need help. So, he went to the old herbalist's compound. When Adébáyò got there, he saw Baba Kòsòkò sitting outside his house. The old man looked tired and weak. His clothes were dirty, and his hair was messy. Adébáyò felt sorry for him. "Good day, Baba," Adébáyò greeted. "My name is Adébáyò. I'm new in this village and I'm looking for work. I heard you might need help." Baba Kòsòkò looked at Adébáyò for a long time before he spoke. "Young man, are you sure you want to work here? This is not a place for the faint-hearted." "Atbinovet, yes, Baba. I'm not afraid of hard work. I can help you with anything you need." The old man thought for a moment, then said, "Very well. You can stay in one of the small huts. Your job will be to help me gather herbs, clean the compound, and assist me when I'm treating patients. But remember, there are some things you must never do here." Adébáyò was curious. "What things, Baba?" "Never enter my personal quarters without my permission. Never touch any of my special herbs or tools. And most importantly, never go near the big irako tree at the back of the compound, especially at night." Adébáyò agreed to these rules, and so he began working for Baba Kòsòkò. At first, everything seemed normal. Adébáyò worked hard, cleaning the compound and helping Baba Kòsòkò with his patients. He learned a lot about herbs and their uses. But after a few weeks, strange things started to happen. One night, Adébáyò woke up to the sound of whispers. He thought it was coming from outside his hut. When he looked out, he saw nothing but darkness. The whispers stopped, but he couldn't shake off the feeling that someone was watching him. The next day, while cleaning one of the huts, Adébáyò found an old, dusty box hidden under some mats. He was about to open it when Baba Kòsòkò appeared out of nowhere. "What are you doing?" the old man shouted. His eyes were wide with anger and fear. Adébáyò was startled. "I'm sorry, Baba. I was just cleaning and found this box." "Never touch that box." Baba Kòsòkò grabbed the box and hurried away, muttering to himself. Adébáyò was confused and a little scared. He had never seen Baba Kòsòkò act like that before. As days passed, more strange things happened. Tools would disappear and reappear in different places. Adébáyò would hear footsteps at night when everyone was supposed to be asleep. Sometimes, he thought he saw shadows moving in the corners of his eyes. One day, a woman came to see Baba Kòsòkò. She was crying and looked very worried. Adébáyò overheard their conversation. "Baba, please help me," the woman begged. "My son has been missing for 3 days. I've looked everywhere. Some people said they saw him coming this way before he disappeared." Baba Kòsòkò's face turned pale. He glanced at Adébáyò, then quickly told the woman, "I'm sorry, but I can't help you. Your son is not here. You should go home and wait. Maybe he will come back on his own." The woman left, still crying. Adébáyò felt bad for her, but he was also suspicious. Why did Baba Kòsòkò look so scared? And why didn't he want to help? That night, Adébáyò couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the missing boy and all the strange things that had been happening. He decided to do some investigating on his own. When he was sure Baba Kòsòkò was asleep, Adébáyò sneaked out of his hut. He went to the back of the compound, near the big irako tree that Baba Kòsòkò had warned him about. As he got closer to the tree, Adébáyò felt a cold wind blow around him. He heard the whispers again, louder this time. They seemed to be coming from the tree itself. Suddenly, Adébáyò saw something that made his blood run cold. There, at the base of the tree, was a small hand sticking out of the ground. It looked like someone had been buried there. Adébáyò was about to run and get help when he heard a voice behind him. "I told you never to come here." It was Baba Kòsòkò. The old man was standing there, holding a machete in his hand. His eyes were wild and dangerous. "Baba, what have you done?" Adébáyò asked, his voice shaking. Baba Kòsòkò laughed, but it wasn't a happy laugh. It was the laugh of a madman. "You don't understand, boy. This tree, it's hungry. It needs to be fed, or terrible things will happen." Adébáyò couldn't believe what he was hearing. You've been killing people? Feeding them to this tree?" "Not me." Baba Kòsòkò shouted. "The tree. The spirits. They demand sacrifices. I'm just the messenger. And now you know too much. You'll have to join the others." Baba Kòsòkò raised his machete and moved towards Adébáyò. But before he could strike, something strange happened. The ground began to shake. The whispers from the tree grew louder, turning into screams. Roots burst from the ground, wrapping around Baba Kòsòkò's legs. "No," the old man cried. "I've served you for years. Why are you turning on me now?" But the tree didn't listen. More roots came out, pulling Baba Kòsòkò towards the trunk. Adébáyò watched in horror as the old herbalist was swallowed up by the tree, disappearing into its bark. Then silence fell. The whispers stopped. The wind died down. Adébáyò stood there, shaking, not sure what to do. Suddenly, he heard voices calling his name. It was the villagers. They had heard the commotion and come to see what was happening. When they arrived, Adébáyò told them everything. At first, they didn't believe him. But then they saw the hands sticking out of the ground. They started digging and found the body of the missing boy, along with many others. The village elders decided that the tree must be cut down and the compound destroyed. It took many days, but finally it was done. All the bodies were given proper burials, and prayers were said for their souls. As for Adébáyò, he left the village soon after. The memories of what happened at Baba Kòsòkò's compound were too much for him to bear. But before he left, he made sure to warn everyone about the dangers of dark magic and the price of keeping terrible secrets. From that day on, the story of Baba Kòsòkò and his haunted compound became a cautionary tale in Igboloko village. Parents would tell it to their children to teach them about the consequences of evil deeds. And on quiet nights, some say they can still hear whispers coming from the place where the big Irako tree once stood, a reminder that some secrets refuse to stay buried forever. That's it for this video, folks. Be sure to subscribe to our channel Pigtales for more stories like this one. Leave a comment letting us know what stories you'd like to see come to life. Don't forget to like and subscribe for new African tales and fables every week.